Quick snap.
This quick snap is one of 5 covering the fundamentals of defensive back play. It's a shorter part of an hour, 20-minute video that I put together that covers all the fundamentals that we coach our defensive backs to be able to execute. If you want to check that out, there will be a link to the description down below. I'll also put a link to all 5 videos that will be released through the course of the week, so that way you can go check those out if you missed any of them, or you're looking forward to them as they come up.
This quick snap is all about how defensive backs become an extra linebacker. What are their keys? What reads can they expect? When do they crack replace? How do they play defensive football from a deep alignment and provide run support? How do they play defensive football from a down alignment? How do they play defensive football from a free alignment? And then lastly, how do they provide run support even if they are in a man alignment? When it comes to run support out of our defensive backs, the first concept we need them to understand that we need to coach them up with is the crack replace concept. It's crucial in providing a secondary force by a defensive back when a receiver crack blocks a primary force player. Communication of the crack block should happen immediately, helping that teammate put himself in a safer position and also keep him involved in the run fit. But the defensive back should be very patient in pulling his trigger, yet decisive once he does. A lot of coaches use the phrase "know before you go," and that's what crack replace ultimately is. A clear crack read comes after the DB sees the receiver's shoulders turn and shows the back numbers. And if he gets hands on the force player at all, pull your trigger and go. So here is an example, perimeter run. Both the safeties and corners should end up pulling their trigger. Ultimately, when we're in cloud, the corner's going to pull his trigger a little bit faster, and than either of the safeties. Okay, 3 cracks. 3 cracks to the inside linebacker. Our deep safety needs to peek at 2. Make sure 2's not going vertical. 2 cracks. He can pull his trigger and run his alley. The corner, the second he sees any sort of crack block when we're in cloud, he gets to pull his trigger right away. When we're in our 2 read stuff, same thing. A lot of teams will go crack. Corner gets to go quite a bit faster and pull his trigger, especially as the ball gets wider to the perimeter, less chance of some sort of actual play action or a pass or something like that. If 2 gets hands on at all, he gets to go. So some crack replace examples. Perimeter run, our safety, great job in the alley. Could tackle a little lower, get on the legs. Right there, 10's blocking. 10 is not running a route. Zane can pull his trigger, runs in the alley. 3-yard gain, can't ask for much more out of our safety. Okay, tighter alignment, cracks are going to happen more often. Our corner is in great position right now. I think this is his like second game at corner this particular year. If he kept working outside, we got a ton of pursuit coming from the inside. We're in a really good place. The safety, all right, both 2 and 1 have cracked. So the safety ends up replacing this and ends up in a position to come across, make the tackle. 5-yard gain, but that's better than a touchdown. And that's what defensive backs are on the field for, to prevent touchdowns. Corner at the bottom of the screen, this is going to be textbook crack replace. That guy's blocking. And if he ain't blocking, he's running a crossing route. I can keep sinking. I'm peeking for crossers coming back. Know before you go. He definitely does. Pulls his trigger. Is in position to make a tackle. Great job. Taquan gets on the legs. Trips that guy up. Again, 5-yard gain. But now it's 4th and 2. The defensive back's job, keep the other team from getting first downs, keep them from getting touchdowns. Crack replace at the top of the screen. Both 2 and 1 are inside. That right now the safety should be working a little bit faster in my opinion, but he knows before he goes. He is 100% making sure it's not play action pass, and now he's going to run hard. Gets on the tackle. Even if we didn't get the flag, about a 2-yard gain. Really great defensive execution all around. Crack by 1 and 2. Safety's unblocked. Go run the alley. Go make a play. Crack here by number 9. Safety pulls his trigger, starts to come downhill. It's part of a great fit. 4th and 3. Stops him for shorter than a 3-yard gain. Huge play. As much as the linebacker is important on that, heck of a play. Corner here, top of the screen. Immediately, 81 is taken off. That's a blocking demeanor. Drop, make confirm. He hooks up. Secondary force. Not make the tackle. Like, he forces it back to his linebacker. We get a 3-yard loss. Get on his legs. Get on his legs. Next thing, making plays now from a deep alignment position. Asking our safeties to make plays when they're lined up eight or so yards deep. Walking through real quick what their keys are. They're going to key 2 to 1 and number 1. All right, 2 does come down, but he pivots back out. We're expecting the safety to pick that up. I need to confirm that his shoulders completely turn and he's 100% blocking that secondary level player, that MAC linebacker. Meanwhile, on the other side, once those shoulders turn completely, I can pull my trigger and I'm going to help play the spill. Or I'm in the alley between myself and the cornerback, depending on the exact alignment and coverage. Here we are. We get number 2 now. So now number 2, instead of releasing, he's blocking out. I'm going to be able to pull my trigger a little faster because hands are on. I'm a bonus player in between the outside linebacker and the rest of the box. Or number 2 completely slips it. I need to stay in coverage. And kind of our rule, again, know before you go. You are a coverage player until your key says, I'm blocking. I've got hands on. You can pull your trigger and go. Last thing, you get an outside release. A little bit muddier reads sometimes, and our corners are gonna be involved on this. This is corner reads that they'll get on potentially like the backside of trips if you got a nub tight end. I got to stay in coverage until that guy's hooked up on the outside linebacker. If he never hooks up on the outside linebacker, I got to stay in coverage. I got to be able to work my vertical and horizontal stems, turn and run with them, cover the pass. The outside linebacker will take any sort of pass out of the running back. Meanwhile, if that guy hooks up right away, it's just like the safety picture on the previous slide. I can pull my trigger and go fit inside the outside linebacker and outside the inside linebackers. So I think we got, all right, tight end shift. So we're watching Kenyon, the deep safety here. Tight end's definitely blocking. Come up, get into run support. Pretty sure top of the screen is the safety to watch. Yep, he's keying that tight end. Tight end's definitely blocking. Near halfback is definitely inside. He's not outside. So if anything happens, the ball's in there. Great stick for a 2-yard gain, safety run support, because his keys told him to do that. Now a little bit of a cutback situation. That tight end, his shoulder, you can see his numbers, 24. He is definitely blocking. So now I'm looking for cutback support. And Mike does a great job of finding the ball carrier come out of the mess there. Watch the end zone shot. Okay. Tight end's definitely blocking. You see his shoulders are turned. So his job is safety, find the cutback. There's 15 coming through. The other safety had no idea. Number 2 had no idea where the ball is, and that's kind of the nature of the T. That's a whole another 7-part series if you've never checked that out. Okay, safety's keying that tight end for run pass. He's still blocking. Come up, make a stick. Okay, hands are on. He's double teaming that 5 technique. Blocking down. Outside linebacker spills. Play right outside the spill. Corner's got force out there. Really just great defense all around. Great perimeter defense out of both the safety and corner there. Let's get straight to the end zone shot on this one. Okay, they're down near the goal line. Play like linebackers down here. That safety, that's a clear block. Pull your trigger and go. Unfortunately, he's a little bit slow pulling his trigger, so that ends up being a touchdown. Great example though of how clear a run key potentially is. Now we get a little bit better play out of Mike this time. His eyes though are not on that tight end. If his eyes are on that tight end, go replace right here. Be outside of number 67 there. He's arc releasing and go. And just doesn't quite make the play. And this is really good teaching tape. You know, that safety was a great ball player for us. Did a very good ball player for us. Did a lot of good things. He just didn't have his eyes locked in where they should be. Here you can see 12 steps out because his eyes are on that tight end. That puts him in better position to force the ball back to the inside linebackers. And even though he's the backup, he gets involved on the tackle here. And from the time he makes contact, there's no more yards to be found. The second that safety gets there, he maybe gets another half yard after contact, and then we got linebacker and other safety coming in and outside linebacker supporting. So it's coaching the safety's eyes is huge. And here's Mike making a play now. That tight end, this is much a crack replace as it is just lining up as a tight end, as a deep defender covering the tight end. Tight end's clearly blocking. Our outside linebacker, we're lined up in over front. Outside linebacker, C-gap responsible. Ball gets spilled by him. You get good attempt at force out of our down safety. Makes the ball bounce wider and deeper. Mike runs the alley, 1 yard gain. Real good play. So he's capable, and he gets his eyes in the right place. He makes good plays. We're going to crack block here. Number 2 knows that there's no play action threat left anymore. He can pull his trigger, gets in position for the cutback. Let you see that one more time. Real good play up front. They can't handle our front. That forces that cutback. And this play gets really dicey for a second, but our safety's able to clean it up again because as the he's keying the number 2 receiver. He's blocking. Really, that's just as much a crack replace as it is playing deep. Out of him. Nice job. End zone shot. Outside linebackers should be making this play. Like key what you're keying. Go fill down. Your tackle's blocking down. Get into cutback position. So that's big time bonus out of our safety. And again, we got to be able to cover the pass. Both safeties do a great job in their deep position. They still cover the pass. Watch the end zone shot. Okay. Both safeties, tight end still vertical. I got to stay in coverage. Work to inside leverage. Get your horizontal stem, Tevin. Safety corner undercuts him. He's playing underneath. Safety's on top. Well defended ball on the wheel route by the halfback there. And that's a great example of, all right, my tight end's blocking. So on the right side of the screen here, my tight end's blocking. Find extra work. Hey, there's a ball carrier, there's a potential receiver running down the middle of the field trying to run a post. I got to go cover it. That's your job as a too high safety, understanding teams are always trying to attack the post. So he's working his horizontal stem as much as he lined up and was ready to provide run support potentially against a team that wants to run the ball. Last thing, down position. 2 things. Need to be able to, on the left side of the screen here, need to come up, hit with my inside shoulder, and force the ball back, make it bounce wider. We saw a little bit of that in a couple previous clips. And then the other thing, if I'm away, ball goes away, I'm gonna work the cutback. I'm slow flow shuffle and find a potential cutback. And then the other thing, again, working from the down position, can provide run support, outside leverage, and on any backfield threats. Got to be able to get down and force the ball back in wherever that's coming from. So we're rolling down. Number 1 at the top of the screen is rolling down with the motion. He knows he needs to get outside of the slot. Number 88 there. 88 blocks the outside linebacker. Outside linebacker misses. Safety's going to be right there. 1 yard loss. Let you see the full play. Good fits inside. Safety's unblocked. Outside linebacker missed the 4 yard loss. Safety cleans it up. Now it's going to be the other safety. Number 2 is rolling down. You can see him on the screen already. Outside linebacker forces the ball back in this time. Safety's right there. 1 yard loss. Heck of a profile tackle running his feet. Great job by Kenyon and Mike on those 2 plays. So now this is going to be a defensive back. He's keying the near back. Near back goes away. We'd like his shoulders to be a little bit square, longer. But he knows he needs to hustle. There's a play, and he preserves a shutout. Playing at the end of a ball game. Keeps the opponent off the board. And forgive the number 2s for lining up a little bit funky, and that's why we didn't really put anyone in C gap, and that's where power goes. So great job by the backside corner, Taquan, shuffling across as a junior in that cutback support role. So now down alignment, this will be more from our corners, like on the previous clip there. Need to set the edge, need to be able to turn and run with the wheel. Need to be able to play cutback. Okay, right there. The edge ends up really short. Our outside linebacker's too vertical. Really, our outside 33 right there. He's running past the ball carrier. He should be squeezing and turning his shoulders, and he should be making a tackle for about a 1 yard loss. Luckily, our corner's sitting there. He's being very patient. Shoulders stay square until he sees the ball carrier, and then a decent example of tackling the legs. And what that does, he kept a touchdown off the board. That's huge. I'm gonna argue if he don't make that play, he might that back's probably still running. Good example of forcing here on the jet sweep. That is great leverage out of our safety. Comes off. 3 yard loss, even with the holding penalty. And run support from that free alignment. We talked a little bit about this already. Here's some examples of us doing it really, really well. So number 2 is free. He's keying, really, he's going to key through that tackle to the backfield. More and more, I coach those guys up. Just key the backfield when you're free like this. All right, backfield went away. Oh, I'm playing counter and cutback. Here the backfield comes back. We get a spill out of number 66. We got an overlap and scrape out of 82 and 5. And there's our safety to help out, make a tackle for 2 yard gain. Great form tackle again out of Kenya. Safety's free. There's only one wide receiver over here. Kick out block. And comes up, makes the play. And he gets to pull that trigger pretty quick because he's keying 2 to 3. Number 2 is kicking out. Number 3 has the ball. Shoot, dang, get there. Real good job. Great example of fixing your linebacker. I would prefer our linebacker to be inside that down block of the tackle, which would make the fit of the safety a little bit cleaner. He replaces that guy, comes back, and only a 3 yard gain. Great tackle out of our safety on that particular play. Okay, and again, the reason you're playing that free alignment, maybe we're spilling the ball to you. Maybe you end up on the backside. Maybe you're working on a crosser here. Okay, so 2 and 3 both go away. There's going to be a new guy coming, or you got a cutback situation. Okay, 3's away, 2's inside faking. There's a new number 2 coming. That safety was free. He's sitting on it. Comes up, 0 yard gain on kind of a crosser drive type play there, where you get both the shallow route and then the dig route. So again, 3 and 2 go away. New 2 coming. Come up and fit it. no gain. And really decent horizontal stem out of our deep safety there. We're bringing the linebackers. Right now, the quarterback could hit him there, and the quarterback, he's a freshman on this particular clip, ends up being a pretty good quarterback. He's just a little bit late. So what could have maybe been, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 yard gain, it ends up being 0. So here we got cutback support out of the free safety. Big hit. Again, 2 and 3 are both away. So he sees both of them head out. There's no crossing route coming. And now he's coming from not on screen. So he's the backside safety. He's lined up approximately, I believe he's like in the backside B gap here. We force the ball back. He's there for the cutback 1 yard gain. All right, he's cheated over a little bit more. Actually, that makes a ton of sense. If 2 and 3 are over there, cheat your butt over, be inside leverage of the number 3. Outside linebacker forces it. Doesn't force it as hard as I'd like. He's coming downhill. And as much as this particular team, our rival, we're playing them, we treated this formation and the previous formation the same. Last thing and hardest thing for defensive backs is providing run support after being in man coverage. A defense should be structured so a DB or anyone in man coverage should never be responsible primarily in the run fit. This ends up being a secondary thing. So we're going to give up some yardage on all the clips you're about to see. This one here, deep safety, 8x1 off that tight end. We were overplaying number 15 here because he's the best receiver on that team. So we got a true nickel package. We got 5 DBs on the field. He's covering number 15. So instead of having an overhang to the field side where they might run it, they've caught us in a little bit of an alignment that favors the offense. Safety knows he can pull the trigger because the tight end is definitely trying to block and hold a little bit our defensive end. Safety ends up getting downhill in the alley, knows he can pull his trigger. And if run through that near hip, just run through the near hip. Don't fall for the little stutter fake. He's potentially making the tackle for no gain, which is a heck of a play. And back behind him, you can see right there, that guy, he's 100%. Our corner's 100% in man coverage. He knows hands are all over me. It's not a pass play. It's a run play. Work back outside, come up, tackle the legs. I'd like him to keep his head up a little bit more, keep himself safe, but keeps them out of the end zone. 2 to 3 plays later, they end up fumbling a quarterback sneak, and we recover. So huge play. Corner at the bottom of the screen now. He's in man coverage. We spill the ball out to him. He knows that when that wide receiver's got hands all over him like that, that is 100% a block situation. Rip, get back to the outside, keep yourself alive, get on the legs, a little bit of a roll tackle out of Taquan there. Great secondary run support. Here, going to be just as much a crack replace as anything. So our safety's keying that wide receiver. He's in man coverage. Wide receiver's definitely trying to crack block. Misses the first linebacker. And the second linebacker's just a step slow. Just a step slow, but he runs the alley, 4 yard gain. After he pulls his trigger, forces the ball back. Now you got the corner on the bottom of the screen. A little bit of an extra wide split. Works off the block. Understands, hey, this is a block. We spill the ball out there. Actually, it's not that we spill the ball. Our number 28 is just way too vertical at defensive end. And he comes in, helps out from corner. Really as much, and again, another crack replace type situation. Ridiculous split now by number 1. Like either a slant or sluggo's coming, or it's weak side run. So cheat inside. Our outside linebacker, you see him step inside. We got a squeeze call on. It's power read. He's making sure the quarterback doesn't hit us vertical. Ball goes wider. Everyone gets the run to the ball. And the safety, the corner, excuse me, he's essentially working a crack replace. That wide receiver is on your outside shoulder like that. Do everything you can to get outside and gets on the legs. We get tacklers to the perimeter, only a 2-yard gain. And some people might, coach, that's a lot of space. Well, darn right it is. So play the situation. Find a way to let that inside linebacker that's pursuing off the guard pole, find a way to get him involved so we can make the tackle. And a bunch of green jerseys get to the ball. We stay alive. Here's our 6x6 perimeter run support drill, which is our primary way of teaching those defensive backs how to provide their run support. On the play side here, cornerback keying that near back comes at him, come up, hit with your inside shoulder, be able to bounce out to the perimeter either for spilled power or quarterback keep. Deep safety's keying the tight end hooks up on the outside linebacker, you see his shoulders turn, you can pull your trigger, get down in the alley in between the corner forcing it and the outside linebacker essentially spilling it. And then backside, we're looking for cutback and counter support are free after he sees the tight end actually hook up. He can provide that support. He sees backfield away, go fit for the cutback, the potential trap or dive out of the fullback. And the cornerback, he can pull his trigger a little faster because he doesn't have a true vertical threat. His back goes away. Get your eyes to the next back for a potential cutback. If he's gone, you're finding the next thing coming back. If you get the outside linebackers involved in the drill, you can start to teach, especially the dog safety here. That outside linebacker, you get the tight end down blocking. I could start to work up to linebacker level. I indeed see him hook up. I see the outside linebacker get the ball spilled. I can make the play in the alley again between the force by the corner, who now is completely on block potentially, and the spill by the outside backer. And again, the backside, free, and corner are providing cutback or counter run support. And then lastly, teaching it from a 2-back set. What we do on 2-back set day, if we end up incorporating this, we'll just rotate all the guys through. So it doesn't really matter if a guy's a corner or a safety. They can work all the spots. If you want to get more specific in a given week, that's completely fine by me. That makes sense. But same thing right here. Our dog, he's keying near back comes at him, come up, force the ball. Make it either bounce to the perimeter and you got outside leverage to go tackle it, or cut back to alley support out of the safety and inside out pursuit out of the inside linebackers, freeze keying that tight end. Tight end hooks up, you can go run the alley, and then the corner, it would be based on does the team run boots or not out of that quarterback. If that quarterback runs boots, that's what I'm looking for as cutback. He's the back that's left. If for some reason the quarterback would keep out play side, I can work cutback and provide cutback support on that ball carrier bouncing back. Game clips of stuff real quick, and this is we get 3 DBs on this weird play. All right, 3 DBs find it. And we got 3 shots at tackling. Luckily, one of them does. You see our outside linebacker comes down, spills it hard. Unfortunately, it's not a true spill. He's not inside. That's the tackle that gets over there. Our nose makes a mess of things, and our outside linebacker is not inside that block. He goes, I swear I was tackling the ball. No, you're tackling their biggest kid. and so that the play just kind of gets stopped. The running back's right there in the middle, spun around, and he's not tackled. All of a sudden, takes back off. Luckily, we have 3 guys hunting for a cutback. We get the backside corner here. We get the play side corner. We get the play side safety. They all find it, and they keep something that could have been a weird play that goes for a touchdown off the board. Backside safety here. His tight end's shoulders turn right there. He knows this is not a pass play. So he's looking for a cutback, and he finds it, hustles, does what he can. And earlier showed you that we had a wheel out of the backfield on a 4th down play. Well, that's set up because he kept the score off the board. And if you're walking away with nothing else out of this, then you got to train your defensive secondary up on how to keep first downs from happening and touchdowns from happening on single plays, so the defense can play another down. We'll watch the backside. Ultimately, our inside linebacker ends up going a little bit too wide. We do get the safety. He's got eyes on that cutback. Hustles. Saves the play. Again, we make a 4th down stop later on. And here, corner, he's going to get the spill read. Outside linebacker, he's spilled the wings down block. Corner's on blocked. Come up. Makes a tackle for a 2-yard gain. Forces the ball back so that way his big teammates, Big Cole there, his teammates can come and make the tackle. The safeties, both safeties are showing up.
Thanks for checking out this quick snap on Coaching Football with Brian Klee. Please follow me on Twitter at Coach Klee. Subscribe to the channel, Coaching Football with Brian Klee, by clicking down below. And if you have any further follow-up questions, email me at coachbrianklee@gmail.com.